As the COVID panic took hold in March 2020, it passed by many employers the implementation of the annualised wage provisions into 16 modern awards, with more to follow, that occurred in February 2020. Do you know how these provisions may affect the arrangements you have with your employees? I'm Chris Campbell from Aitken Legal. The annualised wage provisions are significant provisions, particularly for employers who pay flat or all-up hourly rates or set weekly wages, which are calculated to absorb other award entitlements relevant to an employee's duties and hours of work. To be clear, the Fair Work Commission has clearly stated that salary arrangements are a different engagement arrangement to what is contemplated by the annualised wage provisions. Despite this, there are important considerations and requirements when paying an employee a salary. And some awards do have specific provisions that deal with salary arrangements. But to be clear, the annualised wage provisions do not apply to salary arrangements. Annualised wage type arrangements have always been permitted, but they have been largely unregulated by awards until now. The annualised wage provisions place significant and onerous obligations on employers on keeping records of the agreement to an annualised wage arrangement, and also how the annualised wage has been calculated. Very importantly, the provisions require an employer to specify the outer limit of penalty and overtime hours that an employee can actually work for the agreed annualised wage. There are also specific employee record-keeping requirements around start and finish times and unpaid meal breaks that have been taken. If you are covered by one of the 16 awards that contain these clauses and have annualised wage arrangements, then we strongly recommend that you take steps to familiarise yourself with the obligations imposed on your business, particularly in relation to the calculations that must be conducted and the records that must be kept. You should also make yourself aware of the annual reconciliations that must be undertaken relevant to the annualised wage arrangements. It is important to note that these changes include awards with widespread application, such as the Banking, Finance and Insurance Award, the Clerks Private Sector Award, the Legal Services Award, and the Manufacturing Award, to name just 4. If you have questions in relation to what the annualised wage provisions mean for your business, please do not hesitate to contact one of our experienced employment lawyers at Aitken Legal.